and it will take care of you. The time by the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation is
Campus Connection Time, 5:30 p.m.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price. We yeah. I want to go on campus. Young people are going hard from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one now. Yeah, walk on from campus. How we are carry hard from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one. Hey, some make us on then listen, let me tell you this. Students, I will make we do this. Oh yes, we create this space just for you. Make we talk about you, make we talk about school, government and politics, sports, academics, anything that concern you. I don't know when love pass through. It's all about the gospel. So tell me back one from campus. Youths are going on from campus. Come on, tell me back one. Campus connection, take a data one now. Hey, I walk one from campus. And we are carry lot from campus. Come on, tell me back one now. I walk one now. Hey, walk one, everybody want more.
Wagwan, wagwan, everybody, wagwan. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Campus Connection. We are inside another Tuesday evening, and it's a special Tuesday. It is a very special Tuesday, and I'll be telling you why in a few minutes. Actually, if you jump onto the live right now, you can see why it's a special Tuesday because you'll be seeing You'll be seeing my co-host. I'm Anesta, by the way, but I have a very special co-host with me today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, Anesta. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. Can you please tell the people your name and I don't know the weirdest thing about you?
The weirdest thing. All right, so I am Shania Smith. So welcome to everyone viewing online. Welcome to our
Mhm.
listeners. I'm Shania Smith. The weirdest thing about me. Okay,
Mm.
let me tell you. I
Mhm.
find pleasure in.
Mhm.
Don't laugh at me, Anesta.
Okay.
What I do to a person's license plate, I add the numbers to see if they're divisible by three. That's weird, isn't it?
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm in the vehicle and I'm bored. I'm just like, wait,
You are
let me.
obviously a math genius because I wouldn't even consider doing that.
That's weird.
But it's so good to have you as our guest co-host in lieu
Thank you.
of Jonathan's absence, and hopefully you'll be back to share with us. But all of you who are listening, who are watching, we want to say hello to you. We want to say good evening. We want to thank you for joining us, and we want to invite you to go ahead and comment. We are live on YouTube, on Facebook at Love 101 FM Jamaica. We are also live on the radio. So if you're on the Love 101 FM band, you can catch us right there. And we want to hear from you today. We have an interesting topic lined up. Shania, would you like to tell us what we have coming up in the show?
Most definitely. All right. So for today's show, we have education news and bulletin, which will be read by Mr. Nicholas Williamson. At 5:40, we have creative block with John Mark Wigan. At 5:50, we have I Chose Christ featuring rather Stephen Clark from the Wilmers Boys. At 5:55, we'll be continuing with the discussion overcoming disabilities in school with Jodine Garvey, Mr. Mark Sweeney, Miss Twitan Scale. So it's a whole lineup. It's a wonderful lineup. So you just have to stick and stay in Campus
Yes.
Connection, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we do want to invite you all to leave a comment, leave us a message on our WhatsApp line. You can reach us on WhatsApp at 876-997-3125. You can also call into the studio lines and reach out to us, give us your thoughts on our topic. And I'll give you the topic in just a second, but the number is 876 968-8327 to 8. We are dealing with overcoming disabilities. This is actually part 2. We started an episode a week before last, and it was so interesting. We really had to continue. We want to hear your thoughts. Are students with disabilities, do they have all the resources they need, all the support they need to learn to function effectively? We want to hear your thoughts. So reach us on our WhatsApp line. Again, the numbers are 876-997-3125, or you can call into the studio lines at 876-968-8327 to 8. So, Shania, what is
Hi.
your take on today's discussion? What is your take on students with disabilities? Do you feel like they have enough resources, enough support, even within our education system to be able to do and be their best?
All right, so my take on that. So we know that students with disabilities often encounter barriers, physical, attitudinal barriers, right? And
Mhm,
I think the public should be educated because they're oftentimes stigmatized, they're labeled, and we want to remedy that situation, right? So
mhm,
in terms of resources, I think there could be more, but we're
mhm.
gonna get into that. So that's just my take. But I want us to get into that when our guests arrive. All right.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what do we have coming up next, Shania?
All right. So at this moment, I'd like to invite Mr. Williamson, Nicholas, with Education News and Bulletin.
Hello, Nicholas.
Carson,
Welcome
how you
back.
doing?
You can go ahead with the news.
All right.
Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Education news and bulletin for Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023, here inside the campus connection. BB Coke High School students Dejon Powell, Gary Bartley, Kahari Green, and Dejon Gordon were celebrated with standing ovation from their peers and teachers during the school's devotional exercise yesterday. The boys are being honored for their quick response in rescuing and moving on foot with 14-year-old Jaheim Coldman after he was beaten unconscious last Thursday allegedly by a grade 11 student for stepping on his shoe. The accused senior student is now in police custody, awaiting trial. Jaheim is receiving help with his treatment from the government. He is being treated at the University Hospital of the West Indies. And the National Program Manager of Victor Control in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Sharina Huntley Jones, says the government is has intensified efforts to make schools safe from dengue virus and supplies of medical drug covers and weekend fogging and removal of bulky waste. She underscored that the dengue outbreak mostly affects the 5 to 14 age group and that the Ministry of Education and Youth is working alongside the Health Ministry to prevent infection in the school's environment. She noted that in addition to the general mitigation work, the local public health inspectors are working closely with the principals to apply treatments at the compounds, and all schools will be placed on a fogging schedule to ensure that we are keeping the aging Egyptian mosquitoes to zero. Rhodes High School student Rihanna Lewis received the inaugural Jill Stewart Sports Scholarship valued at 300,000 Jamaican dollars from Executive Chairman of Sandals Resort International, Adam Stewart, during the Mobay City Run 2023 scholarship presentation at the Sandals Montego Bay last Thursday morning. The young athlete thanked Mr. Stewart for the scholarship, which she said will be a huge help with her studies and her athletics. In April, she landed her first bronze medal, in the 400 meters hurdle when she represented Jamaica at the 2023 CREFTA Games at the Thomas Robinson Stadium in Nassau, the Bahamas. Mr. Stewart launched the sports scholarship in honor of his late wife, who was an educator and believed in the city of Montego Bay. In Campus Connection Bulletin, Passion and Purity in association with IFCF and Monroe College presents Co-Head High School Conference 2023. This will be held at the Richard B. Roper Auditorium, Monroe College, St. Elizabeth, on Saturday, October 7, 2023, from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Features include Christian Teachers Forum, Fathers Forum, dance, drama, fashion show, and dynamic guest speakers Sean Graham, Jean Taylor, Ronaldo Rust, and Andrew and Annette Norman. There will also be a grand gospel concert featuring Passion and Purity Praises, Chevelle Stewart, Ariana White, David Sutton, and Rihanna Davis. Admission is free. Chancellor Hall Block Runchi presents Unashamed, a deeper worship experience under the theme Worship in Gethsemane, featuring UAUCCF and Remnant Praise Team, David Sutton, Trezeguet Smith, and more. This is Sunday, 8 at 6 p.m. in Chancellor Hall parking lot at UMONA. Admission is free. Lastly, Jamaica Youth for Christ presents their annual prayer breakfast under the theme New Season, Same Mission on Saturday, October 14, 2023 at the Jamaica Stock Exchange at 40 Holarbor Street, Kingston, featuring John Mark Wigan, Audia Spencer, and Minister D. Brown. Guest speaker would be Reverend Clayton Roberts.
We can
Dr.
we can put something.
Contributions would include that of $3,000. That is all we have for you today inside Campus Connection News and Bulletin. I'm Nicholas Williamson. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your week.
All right. All right, all right. Thank you so much for the news there from Mr. Williamson. We certainly appreciate it. And we are getting ready, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for our creative block segment. And we definitely want to ensure that you definitely want to ensure that you're on, that you're attentive, because we have John Mark Wigan to be joining us today. We want to make sure that everybody hop on to the comment section. Hop on if you're on YouTube. Good evening to you. Hop on to the comment section. We'll be monitoring if you have any questions for John Mark. But he's certainly no stranger to Love 101 FM, and he's no stranger to, I believe this is my first time interviewing him. But welcome to you, John Mark Wigan. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
All right. All right, so just a little bit about John Mark Wigan. So John Mark was born in Jamaica and raised in Antigua. John Mark started his musical journey in church. You see, importance of church. One of the sounds that first captured his heart was that of the drums. He began producing beats that transcended his audience to a place of solidarity in Christ. He believes that this is his calling, a calling to heal, inspire, and promote endless positivity within his listeners. So, Mr. John Mark?
Uh so we're having a bit of technical difficulties getting John Mark on, but it's okay, guys. You can still you can still hop on to the comment section. We definitely want to hear from him and just talk
Yes.
about what he's been up to lately and hearing some more about all of his creative endeavors. So Jodian, you were telling me, I'm sorry, Shania, you were telling me earlier on about just some of the songs you were listening to from John Mark. Can you tell me like one of them that you definitely want? You definitely want to hear him give a line or two.
Work.
Ah,
Right.
okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good.
But you see, Anesta is here today. She wants to kind of put me on the spot with the singing. I ain't going to do the singing today.
This is what we do around here. Ask Jonathan Fletcher Zine. Like, I get in trouble all the time on this show. But yes, guys, we're going to a quick break. And
Yes.
when we return, we want to hear from John Mark Wigan on the Creative Block. Stay tuned for more Campus Connection.
Planning to sit the January CXC CSEC exams privately? Register with Overseas Examinations Commission before the registration deadline, October 13, 2023. Visit our Kingston office or Montego Bay office to complete your application form or send an email to help@overseasexams.org.jm. Follow our social media pages at Overseas Exams for more details. Remember, if you plan to sit the January CXC CSEC exams privately, the registration deadline is October 13, 2023.
Jamaica's central bank digital currency is now here. Jamdex, no cash, no problem. Step into a future of ease, convenience, and security. Conduct business with your mobile device instantly and without fees. This is how life should be with Jamdex. You catch it free. Jamdex are the real free. Use it to buy your store bar TV. You can buy your shoes or 3 piece. Get the central bank digital currency. No cash, no problem. Jamdex, backed by the Bank of Jamaica.
NIS pensioners, avoid the wait. Get your NIS pension straight to your bank account. It's easy. Simply visit the Ministry of Labor and Social Security's website, mlss.gov.jm, or the nearest NIS office and collect the direct deposit application form. Then complete the form and submit it along with supporting documents to the NIS office nearest you. Avoid crowds and long lines. Get your money when you want it. The National Insurance Scheme, always working for you.
Business leaders, this is it. Join us at Live to Lead. The #1 global leadership conference is back Friday, October 6, 2023 at the Terra Nova Hotel. This is your chance to elevate your leadership skills and accelerate your business with real solutions. Featuring John C. Maxwell, the #1 leadership guru in the world, designer and multi-billionaire Kendra Scott, Ryan Leake, Audrey Hinchcliffe. Register now at livetoleadjamaica.com or call us at 876-438-1135. Live to Lead Jamaica is sponsored by Love 101, Intentional Growth LLC, I Bring Digital, and Creative Brands and Concepts.
When you say Fosrich, you say electrical, SWA cables, conduits, transformers, and breakers. When you say Fosrich, you say lighting, chandeliers, and more. When you say Fosrich, you say LEDs and solar water heaters. Fosrich is electrical, lighting, solar, and LEDs. Visit us today, Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Fosrich.
Cubby's Baby Wipes is ideal for your baby's delicate skin, infused with vitamin E and aloe vera, and available for home or on the go. The time by Cubby's Baby Wipes is
5:48.
All right, thank you for sticking and staying with us. You are inside Campus Connection. So if you're just joining in, you are on the right station and definitely in Campus Connection. So we are live on YouTube. You can join us on Facebook at Love 101 FM Jamaica. All right, so Anesta, who are you again?
I'm good.
Yes. You're excited for the discussion this afternoon?
I certainly am. And before the discussion, we definitely want to apologize for not having John Mark on. We did promise an interview with him. However, we are having some technical difficulties. But we will continue nonetheless. And we're going to have I Chose Christ. And who is presenting I Chose Christ today?
Stephen Clark from the Wilmer's Boys School. Mr. Clark?
Awesome.
Hello there, everyone.
Hi.
I'm Clark. I am an
Hi, Stephen. How are you doing?
at the Women's Boys School, and I am here to tell you how God transformed my life. As a short background on myself, I grew up in a Christian home. Both of my parents were Christian, and so as a result of that, most of what I believe, or all really of what I believe now, has some ties and some connection to the very simple principles they would have taught me as a child. And as such, I live based on those principles of what it means to live as a Christian and what it means to be a student and a Christian and a teenager as a Christian. But it wasn't always like this. There was a time where I had to ask myself these questions, such as, who am I? What am I here for? What is my purpose? Do I serve any purpose? And am I just a speck on the earth with no special? Am I not special? And so asking myself these questions with the improper perspective, it would have led me into times of depression. And then even up to last year, around this time even, I would have been dealing with not just depression, but suicidal ideation and suicidal thoughts. At the time, Passion and Purity, the organization that I am a part of, would have been hosting their annual conference, high school conference, at the Manchester High School sometime between September and October of last year. And although I would not have intended for anything to happen or my life to be changed at that moment where I went up to the altar and I began crying and crying because of all the things I was dealing with mentally and emotionally. God freed me from all of those thoughts and all of those and pains, and I would have been healing up until this point. And so, even as Passion and Purity has their high school conference this year at Monroe College, October the 7th, and I will most certainly be there, it reminds me of how God transformed my life and reminds me of my commitment. Because for that reason, I chose Christ, and I encourage that you should too.
Okay, where are the campus eyes? Students are strap up in a price.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephen Clark of the Wolmer's Boys High School, for his awesome testimony, encouraging us to choose Christ because he did too. Want to say hello to everyone in the comments section. Hello, Donna Mullings, Jackie Koch, Razak Mumin, Marva Lindo, and everyone else who you might be listening but not necessarily commenting right now. We want to say hello to you, and I want to invite you to go ahead and comment. Let us know you're here. Say hi, good evening. We always tell you on this show, it's just manners. It's just manners. So we want to say hello to all of you. We certainly appreciate your company. As we go into our discussion segment, we're getting ready for that. And we're talking about overcoming disabilities. And I'm certainly looking forward to this discussion because, as I said, it is part two of it's part two. But just before we just received word that John Mark is on. And hello to you, John Mark. Welcome back.
Hey, what's up? What's up? It's good to be here. How are you?
We're good. I just want to know why you give so much trouble. Is like you make us get excited, then you disappoint us, then we get excited again. Anyways, we're just happy to have you on the show.
Happy to be here, man. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what's wrong with the signal or something. Maybe it's the weather. Uh, but let's see. Hopefully, it don't cut out.
Right,
I
right,
think we have
right.
exciting things to talk about.
Yes,
All right.
yes. So Chennai had a burning question. Go ahead, Chennai.
Yes. So welcome, John Mark. Welcome back, rather. Welcome back. So I have
Happy
a
to.
question for you. So,
Mm.
what was your life like growing up in Antigua?
Simple life, simple country youth life. Very similar to what it was before I left. I was growing up with my grandma at the time, so yeah, I have that old soul around me.
Oh,
She wasn't saved, but she was a loving woman. She loved me off, but she teach me for right and thing. um, and my father, I was with my father at the time. That's before he got married, and then I went to live with him and his wife. And so I'd say I grew up in a nuclear home, Christian home, both Christians. and so in Antigua now, I'd say I had just a slightly different culture from Jamaica in terms of music and food. Those are two
Mhm,
major things that I think Jamaica identifies by, or most Caribbean countries identify by their music and food and dress.
mhm.
And so those were two major things. Food was a bit different, and the accent, of course, and talk different. So I
Right.
spoke different in the home than I did at school. So those are some of the dynamics that I had to work through, and it was fun.
Awesome. So
Awesome.
you are now a minister of music. You have several hit singles. But tell us a little bit about how you got started in music.
So, um, the one person I didn't mention just now who was in the home with us was my aunt. That's my
Mhm,
grandma, my aunt, and my father. They were together, and I went up to until I lived with them. So when my father moved out, I was still there with my aunt and grandma, and my aunt used to sing all the time. So I'd mock her in the house. One of the reasons I would mock her is because my grandma would get annoyed at some point and shut her up. So what I would do is amplify that sound and to speed up the process so she could be embarrassed a little sooner. And so I used to mock her and sing along, but not knowing that that was actually like just training ground. And I would see how best I could sing like her. And I practiced a song that she was practicing of. One day I sang it at church. And the
mhm,
response was great. I was age 7 at the time. The pastor lift me up and I said, what? Oh, people love after like a vibe, yeah. So to get that consistent affirmation, I continue sing it. But guess what? No? For about 3 years, I sing song. Me sing every time I say come sing. After a while, I realized, you know, I have to come with something new. So
mhm,
that was the start to me just tampering with music overall. I think at
mhm,
age 17, I decided let me take singing a little bit more serious and see if I can nurture the craft to some extent. And in 2016, I had gone into a competition called Emerge Gospel Challenge,
mhm,
where I was able to get my first single recorded by V. Sherwin Gardner, who was just here Saturday.
mhm,
Um, so that was a blessing that got me started, as in like officially, then put you on photo shoot and put your face here and there, and you will things and something will happen, man. Things were happening, and it was the dawn of many things to happen. Here I am now.
mhm.
Mm. All right. Awesome. All right. So, John, highlight a strategy that you're using to remain relevant in this ever increasing music industry.
Mm, very good
Mm.
question. Very good question. First thing first, right? I try my best to avoid the issue of relevance, because I think that the gospel in itself is relevant to any person, any generation. Um, I think the Bible, in a sense, has retained its relevance by virtue of allowing its translations to kind of fit the narrative of how people speak in the day and age. So that's a good thing. So if I pattern the Bible, it's it's ensuring that the message is still true, potent, and correct and theologically sound, but
Mhm,
ensuring that I can say it in a way that the people's native tongue for that day and age and that demographic can understand it. So what I go after for relevance is understanding, as opposed
mhm.
to watering down a thing. I try to make
Right.
sure you can understand it a different way. So that's the
Okay.
relevance that I look for. Now, sound will continue to change, you see. So for any musician, any singer listening, sound will continue to change. So it's very good to hold on and be wholeheartedly sold out to a particular genre and the way it's um, composed. But what happens is as sound changes, what you just have to appreciate the sound as it's changing, Dancehall
Mhm,
isn't the same as we thought it used to be. Reggae has changed to some extent. And it just makes new opportunities to hear different sound and different nuances. But if you appreciate it, you will then move with it and not like have to catch up to it. So as you move with it, you will maintain by staying a learner.
mhm.
Stay learning.
Um,
Stay learning. Yeah.
and even as we listen to your music, we definitely can see where you've done that. In the next few seconds, I'm sorry, John Mark, before we wrap, can you just share with us what's coming up for you in the future?
What's coming up for me is what's coming up for you.
Ooh.
I have a major duty in the kingdom to validate God's people. Everyone that has been lied to, everyone that has been deceived into thinking they are something else or that they can identify as something else. He's sending me with a message of validation. He said to validate his people with what he said in his words and to redeem the times, redeem music, redeem people, you know. And so my very, very first album launch seeks to address those issues of validation, be it spiritual, be it physical, as simple as something as looking into the mirror. Um, I am here to, in this season, validate God's people and to align them and affirm them into knowing who they are as children of God and who them belong to. Because I believe, as he told me, if they come into a knowing of who they are, Satan can't catch them again, and they'll be powerful people, and they will stop making compromises for the devil. If they know who they are, if they know who they are, you can't hold away. You can't hold away.
Mhm.
To a Christian one, no say rather than daddy, and none of plating after that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that's
We
my
do have
duty in
to
this
wrap.
season.
We do have to wrap, but certainly we appreciate you coming on. Wish we had more time. Maybe we can find a way to make this work for you to be back on. But certainly we appreciate you, John Mark. Thank you so much for taking the time to share with us on all of your creative endeavors. We're going now to a quick break, and when we return, more Campus Connection. Stay with us.
Get ready for a worship-filled time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jakal Dyer, this Wednesday, October 4. Grab your cup of coffee and we could start the day right with the Morning Coffee Pick Me Up devotional at 6 a.m. Then at 7 a.m., we bring you the Morning Watch with intriguing and thought-provoking discussions. 8:30 a.m. inside The Healthy Way, we discuss breast cancer types and symptoms. And then at 9:30 is Something More, brought to you by the Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center. So rope in a man, stick and stay with us this Inspiration Wednesday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the family station, Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
Make sure you
It's time to wake up to profit. Hi, I'm Coach Kerr, your business coach. I help entrepreneurs to build a business that allows them to make money while they sleep. Join me on my new radio show, Wake Up to Profit, on Love 101 this September. I'll be sharing the strategies, tips, and tools you need to build a successful business online with dropshipping, print on demand, digital products, social media marketing, and more. Subscribe at wakeuptoprofit.com.
Listen to Wake Up to Profit with Coach Carr, Thursdays at 6:47 a.m. during Love in the Morning with Jukal Dar. That's Wake Up to Profit with Coach Carr, Thursdays at 6:47 a.m. right here on Love 101 FM, the family station.
NIS pensioners, avoid the wait. Get your NIS pension straight to your bank account. It's easy. Simply visit the Ministry of Labor and Social Security's website, mlss.gov.jm, or the nearest NIS office and collect the direct deposit application form. Then complete the form and submit it along with supporting documents to the NIS office nearest you. Avoid crowds and long lines. Get your money when you want it. The National Insurance Scheme, always working for you.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:05.
All right, so welcome back to Campus Connection. You're tuned into Love 101 FM, the family station. So at this moment, As you know, we have introduced the topic for today, overcoming disabilities in schools, right? And we have some heavyweight this afternoon to share with us, right? So let me just read you some facts, all right? According to the World Health Organization, WHO, disability is a part of human being. Almost everyone will temporarily or permanently experience disability at some point in their life. An estimated 1.3 billion people, about 16% of the global population, currently experience significant disability. This number is increasing due in part to population and aging and an increase in the prevalence of non-communicable diseases. Some learning disabilities are a lot more common than you think. The coping methods and assistance from various institutions are also available to assist. And at this moment, I'd like to highlight two organizations. The first one, the Jamaican Association on Intellectual Disabilities, JADE. They're an organization that provides support services to persons with intellectual and other development disabilities. Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities. The Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities provides a variety of services to protect the rights of persons with disabilities. And they're available on Instagram, right, at the J dot AID and JCPDJA. All right, so Anesta.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing those facts with us, Shania. So we have on the phone lines, we have, first of all, we have Mr. Mark Sweeney, music teacher at Clancarthy High School. I remember Mr. Sweeney from his testimony on our show the last time, being disabled and a music teacher. And I found that so intriguing. I begged our producer if we could bring him back on. We also have Miss Twitty Scale. She's a special needs educator, and Miss
Mhm.
Jadine Harvey, customer service associate. So, welcome to the show,
Yeah,
everyone, and
welcome.
back to those of you who have been on before.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
Awesome.
yeah, welcome. Awesome.
So, I just wanted to find out. First of all, I'm going to throw my first question. I'm going to throw my first question to Mr. Sweeney. You are a music teacher, and you're also you're also in this weird situation where not only are you challenged with just teaching, because teaching by itself is not easy.
Mhm.
So how do you maneuver the disabilities along with just being a regular teacher? How do you maneuver that space?
All right, to be very honest truth, maneuvering it is not easy. I mean, planning for your lesson, you just have to plan ahead of time. Because the
Mhm.
truth is, if I don't plan, then I'm going to be, all over the place. So what you want to understand with persons with disabilities, especially those who are visually impaired, they have to be organized, and as a result of that, planning PowerPoints and, lesson plans ahead of time, then I know exactly what I need to do in order to get to my students. And then what makes it even more easier is that music is a practical subject, and so the students are readily, pretty ready to participate in the different activities that we have.
Mhm. Wow, that's awesome. Shania, did you have any questions for our guests?
Yes, I do. And Miss Scale, I have a question for you. Thank you, Mr. Sweeney, Miss Scale.
Yes, I'm
All
here.
right. Okay, so I know that you have a passion for teaching. You're a teacher also, right? But question, like, can students with physical disability maintain high grades?
Definitely, absolutely, yes. Children with physical disability can maintain high grades consistently. The key to ensure they have access to the right support, including technology as adaptive technology, accessibility classroom, and their IIP if needed. It may require extra effort and determination, but many students with disability have demonstrated the ability to excel throughout their academic journey. So definitely they can, with, as I said, adequate support, accessible classroom, their IIP and all that support, they can definitely maintain high grades.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Miss Gail. I love when you mentioned support. Support is very important to anyone. Support is very, very important. Thank you so much, Miss Gail.
So, I'm going to throw this question now to Jadine. Jadine, I remember from our last interview, your mom testified and she shared on just the challenges of being that support that was just mentioned. But from your perspective, Jadine, what are some of the things that families can do, that schools can do to help to assist persons with disabilities?
Okay. What families can do and what society and a whole can do is
Families and
just,
schools in particular.
yeah, family and schools in particular. So what they can do is just remain supportive. So the persons with disabilities sometimes it can be very isolating. So what I would recommend is that you just be there for them, just
Mhm.
give them any constant support that they may need, check in on them, just make sure that they are having the same accessibility to whatever is going on. So if you're going on to an event, please
Mhm.
include them.
Mhm.
Yes.
Awesome.
Ah,
Thanks so
awesome.
much for that.
Yes. I have a question for Mr. Sweeney. So, could you
Definitely.
highlight some challenges that you've faced as a student and how did you overcome them?
Right. So, when I was going to Michael, I had challenges seeing the board. As you know, my disability was, is that I'm visually impaired. So I had a problem seeing the board, I had problem taking notes, I had a problem moving around the compound, especially after 60 minutes. Uh, as a result of me being, as a result of the fact that I can't see at night either. So, whenever I have those challenges, there are some things that I would normally put in place. I would normally have my classmates to read for me after class or on weekends. Whenever I can't see the board, I would go to the front of the class. Fortunate for me, my teachers were understandable and would most time be very understandable. So yeah, that was it for me. Those were some of the challenges that I faced on campus. And also in exams, I used to have problems doing exams and they would put the necessary stuff in place for me to do well at my exam. And I appreciated all of this.
Mhm.
Awesome.
We're going to a quick break in a second, but I want to go to the special needs educator in our midst, Miss Twitty and Scale. Miss Scale, in just a few seconds we're going to a break, but can you just quickly tell us what are some of the things that as an educator you do to encourage students with disabilities?
Well, what I do to encourage students with disability is to support them in everything they do, to build a positive relationship with them where They, as special educators, we're teachers, we're co-parents, we're like parents ourselves. So we have to be with them right through it. I motivate my students in every possible way I can. I be their friends, their mothers, someone they can talk to and reach out to with anything. I let them feel comfortable learning. I let everyone feel like they are a part of everything. I embrace them for who they are. And even though working at a school where there are students with and without disability, I embrace their disability. So to let persons feel accepted in my classroom. So anyone is in my classroom, they feel welcome, they feel at home, they feel accepted, and they feel the love.
Hmm. Awesome. Thank you for that. And we're now just going to go to a quick break. And when we return, we'll be having more on our discussion on overcoming disabilities part 2. Stay with us here on Campus Connection.
Need a qualified counseling psychologist to help you navigate life and challenges? Call Andre Allen Casey with over 10 years of experience in resolving relational issues, therapeutic interventions for couples, families, and individuals. Andre Allen Casey, licensed associate counseling psychologist with offices at 20 West Kings House Road, Kingston 10. Open Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Telephone or WhatsApp 876-360-6594 or email Andre Allen _Casey at yahoo.com. Andre Allen Casey, counseling with a difference.
Swallowfield Chapel in Kingston, Jamaica comes alive on Saturday, October 7 for the 7th staging of the Sterling Gospel Music Awards, recognizing talent, rewarding excellence. Featuring live performances from DJ Nicholas, Kevin Heath, Prince Sage, John Mark Wigan, Chantal Smalling, Humble, Chris Campbell, and more. Red carpet, 6 p.m., showtime, 7 p.m. sharp. Dress code, black and white excellence. Get your tickets now at spuropen.com/sterling7. Adults, $3,000 pre-sold, $3,800 at the gate. Children, $1,500. Lap infants, 2 years and under free. Be there.
Improving your credit score. Having a high credit score is great, and the opposite is true. Having a bad credit score is detrimental to your financial health. One way to improve your credit score is by paying your bills in full on time, every time. After 6 to 12 months of on time payments in full, you should see a noticeable improvement in your score. This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Grace sardine for the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that are the winner. Shop on supermarkets, everybody
Grace
sell it.
sardines follow the better flavor.
The time is
6:18 p.m.
All right, so welcome back to Campus Connection on your family station, Love 101 FM. So we're still exploring the topic overcoming disabilities in schools. And I'd like to throw my first question to Miss Garvey, Jodine. So, Jodine, do you think that families and schools are properly prepared to deal with issues that may arise when catering for persons with disabilities?
Okay. Okay. For families, I would say depending on the disability, there will be have to be certain things in place for them. As I said, the most important thing is that they just feel supported and loved. And for schools, as I said, the same thing, being loved and supported, along with other things that could ease with accessibility, especially for me who has a physical disability. What would come useful is if in every school there is lifts, so we can off get get off the classes if they are upstairs classes, instead of having to place us downstairs and make us feel isolated from our classmates, because in our school there might be just one or two persons with disability, so the school doesn't really cater to us specifically because there are other students who don't need as much care
Mm-hmm.
with accessing the classes. So that's what I would suggest. Just have more things that are more accessible for us to go to. So so
Mm-hmm.
lifts, ramps, anything that would just make it easier for us to traverse around the school.
Okay,
Good,
awesome.
understood. And we
Understood.
definitely stand with you in this. I noticed in the comments we had a question from Lorian, and she wanted to know what are the greatest challenges you all face, and I'm assuming she's talking about persons with disabilities. What are the greatest challenges you face? And if you could change something about the school system, what would you change? So I'm going to ask Mr. Sweeney if he would address that question. What are some of
All
the
right.
greatest challenges? And if you could change something, what would you change?
All right. So the greatest challenge I have faced is the ability to move around. You know, when I was at in university, I mean, even though they are disability friendly, there were a lot of need. Well, there were room for improvement, and one such room would have been for like ramps, as my colleague had just said a while ago. Railings. There were quite a few railings, but there were some strategic points that I would have gone to. You know, Wayland should have done better there. There are also not in all classrooms you have or labs you have programs, computer programs that speaks for persons with disabilities. So because I know that this was a problem for me, I used the opportunity of being on the Guild of Students, and I would have lobbied on behalf of my year groups, persons in my year group with the same disability. And
Mm-hmm.
so my institution would have put some stuff in place to accommodate us, like JAWS, which is a computer program that speaks to persons with visual impairment. So if I write my name, it reads it back to me. And if I have a document to read, I would highlight it and do whatever I need to do, and the computer would read it back. So seeing the board and moving around on the compound as well as heading home. I can remember heading home one night on Marasco Road.
Mm-hmm.
Almost fell in what you call this now, a manhole where the cover was stolen by a
Mm-hmm.
person with scrap metal
Wow.
things, and they replaced it. They replaced it, and in less than 2 days, the 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 the, the cover was stolen again. So I think when I look at it and talking to you now, the greatest challenge was moving around at night um, in certain areas.
Mm-hmm. So, just a follow up, Mr. Sweeney and Jadine, you can chime in on this as well. You mentioned being a part of the Guild of Students, being able to represent students with disabilities. Do you think schools overall should take a more deliberate approach to ensure that at least one student that's a part of their students union or their student council is actually someone with a disability? Do you feel like that's necessary? Let me
I I think so because what that does is what you call it inclusivity, right? It makes us
Mhm,
feel as if we are a part of something, knowing that
mhm,
yes, we have a voice, and we don't want to feel like an outcast because we are as important as anybody else, and we can contribute just the same as anybody else in society.
mhm. What are your thoughts, Jadine?
Yes, I agree with Mr. Swaby 100%. Sometimes we need to be included in the panel. They need to hear our feedback because certain things that might affect you is not affecting us. So our input is definitely needed in schools, in at home, and definitely in society as a general.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Jodine, I have a question for you. What's one thing you wish persons knew about persons that have disabilities?
Okay, what I wish people would know about person with disability is that we are just like everybody else. We don't need, well, we need special treatment, but we don't need to be looked at as we can't hang out with her because she can't manage or anything like that. We just want to be more included. So if you know somebody with a disability, you can go in and check on them. You can talk to them. You can still carry on conversation like you do regularly. So we're not somebody where you have to basically force a conversation, like you have to go out of your way to talk to. We're just like everybody else. So we can be approached and we can have a conversation with you. We just we just need yes, we just need just special just yeah, just we
Yeah.
just need to be included. So just include us in your conversation. Don't be afraid to talk to us. We're just like you. We just have different abilities.
And
Right.
may I add to that, when she said special, I can relate, but we don't want people to feel pitiful or sorry for us.
Okay.
Yes.
You understand? We don't want you
Mm-hmm.
to feel sorry for us, but give us that equal opportunity and just bear with us, understanding that, we are equal just like anybody else on the planet. That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, listen.
We just want to throw our final question now to Miss Scale, and would love for Mark and Jodine to chime in as well. What advice would you give to parents, guardians, teachers who are finding it difficult to deal with students or a child that has a disability? So, Miss Scale, you can go first, and then anyone else can join afterwards.
All right. What I would tell people that find it hard to deal with children with disability, especially for parents, because I realize parents are really having it hard dealing with a child with disability. First, seek support and information. So connect with support groups. Online, you have different online forums, organizations that specialize in specific disabilities. Another one, build a support network. Reach out to family and friends for emotional support. Share your experience and challenges. Advocate for your child. Be your child's advocate in educational and medical settings. So you work closely with the teachers, the therapists, the health cares. Another one, set realistic expectations. Understand that the progress may be slow or different for your child, and that's okay. Celebrate their achievements, no matter how small it is. Foster independence. Encourage them to be as independent as possible without capability. So this may include teaching life skills, self-care, and decision making. Another one, celebrate their differences. Teach your child that being different is something to embrace and celebrate, not to hide or to be ashamed of. Encourage self-acceptance and self-confidence. Also, take care of yourself. Remember that your own well-being is essential. Caring for a child with a disability can be physically and emotionally demanding. So ensure you take good care of yourself and also ensure that you be patient and flexible. Understand that there will be ups and there will be downs. Flexibility and adaptability are the key to navigate the unpredictable nature of disability. Embrace positivity. Focus on love and joy for your child brings to your life. Celebrate their uniqueness and accomplishments and also celebrate their milestones. Mark your child's achievements, whether they are related to disability or not. Celebrate their birthday, graduation, and everyday victory. Let them feel
Thank,
important, embrace them, and
thank you so
accept them for
much.
who they are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Miss Gail. We do have to go. Again, another
Yeah.
informative, engaging discussion. We want to thank you, all our panelists, for coming on today and sharing with us. We'd also like to thank our producer, Jermaine Johnson, Jonathan Fletcher. We'd like to thank Dr. Nadine Blair, our programs director. Thank you to John Mark Wigan. Thank you to Timoy Butler, David Sutton, Latifa Reed. Thank you to all of you who made this show possible, and certainly to our listeners or viewers. Thanks for joining us today. And to you, Shania, our co host who joined us.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so much
having
for
me.
being with us. And we'll see you guys next time right here on Campus Connection next Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Stay with us.
All right. God bless you.